welcome to the GOAT episode.
Listen, it's the
Welcome
GOAT
here.
episode. It's the GOAT episode.
Yeah.
MJ number 23. You already know. What's going on, people? This is the INQUIRES Team. I'm Walmart. That's the Hoys and the lovely Candace P.
Let's go.
How's it going?
Listen. Better late than never, but never late is better.
You know what I'm saying?
You know it's all time. You spend it together. I'm down for whatever. You just paved the way. Listen, I'm really saying the wrong thing because, you know, the people out there, they've been watching us.
Yeah.
And I know that we're not a pop culture type of podcast. If you've been watching for a long time, you've been already liking and subscribing on YouTube. You've been already following on SoundCloud and on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere you can see us, the Enchiridion Team.
Yep.
Right? But if we were a pop culture podcast, we would have to talk about that 100 mil and I'm still on the grind.
Yo, look. Hey.
Look, chapter 23 and I'm still on the grind.
We are not by no means pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you that album is fire.
That's when we need that. You got that. You got the horns.
No, because I can't do it. It didn't work at all last time, and now the link that I have don't work at all. They like shut it down.
Hey man, you know what? Just shout out to the kid, J. Cole anyway, because that's the, you know, 6th album. Who would have known from what is that? Side Hustle. What was his first song called?
Sideline Story.
Sideline Story. I'm gonna say Side Hustle Pennies. But
well,
Sideline Story.
Sideline Story was it too. Like honestly, man, if you expect me to say J. Cole did something wrong, like it ain't gonna hear from me. You know what I'm saying?
Great artist. You know what I'm saying? He's listening to him, like him and his fans in Africa, they listening to us too. You are, you know, welcome to chapter 23.
Yep.
You are now listening to the top 6 podcasts on SoundCloud. Welcome here. Here we go. Chapter 23. Here we go. Unmute yourself, Candace. And get on in here and get this food.
The shy gal. If she want to be the shy gal today. You're on mute.
I said, first of all, someone must have muted me because when I was first came on, I wasn't on mute. So who did it?
Negative Ghost Rider.
Hey, look. If you
welcome back. Thank you guys. I know you guys missed this.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is today was a long day.
Oh yeah.
I was on the road at 4:00 this morning.
Jeez.
Driving the VA, spreading the good word of the Enchiridion Team.
Oh man, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Day and night.
And here I am, right here, right back where I belong with you all. Hey, Candace,
dedication.
what's going on, though, Candace, man? Like, how you been? How was your week after we left you?
It was nice. We finished out the last portion of our anniversary. My gift to Brandon. So we did couples massages, which was great. And we just finished celebrating. That was just about it.
It was happy endings, man. Word up.
We don't know.
Hey,
We can't deny or confirm.
I'm not mad at either one of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Mazel tov.
A massage is a massage, and it's supposed to release. So here we are. You know?
Oh my God.
As long as a couple, I'm not mad, man.
Hey.
Y'all sick. She loved me long time.
Listen. Those masseuses are just living through the balance.
Listen, what she said? She massages shit.
Okay.
You talking about the masseuse? She massages shit.
Oh Lord, you are a fool.
But hey, look, I hit Kung Fu Graham jumping through the roof now.
Yeah, he nice with it. You know what I'm saying? He just he on the way. When you got children, you try to just develop their young talents as you can, see what they're interested in, see what they like to do,
Yeah.
And that's really where it all kind of begins with, like, I guess discovering or making known what your talents are, because you just need that exposure to different things. And for the last couple of months, he's been exposed to different poses, different strikes and things like that. And, he's taking a liking to it. He looks forward to it every week, and we look forward to taking it.
Yo, like, you have to figure out what your talents are early on. As early as, as you begin in, schools, and this is why it's important, and I fully support people pushing their kids to do everything.
Yeah.
And I know there's some people that don't agree with pushing your kids to do anything, trying to let them find their own talent. But I expose them to everything that you have power to expose them to, because in the long run, it gives them a wide variety of what am I good at, and it helps them find their natural talent. And then when they 30 plus, they not struggling like me. Mm-hmm. They're not struggling to find out, what am I actually good at?
Yeah.
And I'm not blaming nobody. You're on mute, Ken.
You're on mute, Ken.
You kind of you checked out and checked back in, but there's no whatever.
I was saying I feel like that's an assumption. Like, I grew up exposed to so many different cultures, activities. Like, thanks to my recreational center that we had right across the street from my house, but we were in ballet, learning piano, Swahili, chorus. We were always doing things, acting, sports, tennis, you name it, softball. We were just always in something different. But I feel like I had that problem with finding out what my passion is. I have a lot of interest in things, but I just think it's an assumption to make that because you are exposed to this, you're supposed to naturally just know what it is that you want to do or is meant to do. And, that didn't happen for me.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's easier for you to identify what you were good at. It's not that it's going to naturally come to you, because it's not. It's not. Either way, you have to do the soul searching within yourself. Either way, but it's gonna be more easy for you to identify. Oh, you know what? I was good at this.
Yeah.
And with anything, you put your mind to it, you practice it, you can become good at anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Speaking on is that thing that comes natural to you. You hear these people that are people persons. You know what I'm saying? They have a natural interpersonal communication type deal with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you identify that about yourself, you realize that, hey, maybe my path should be more of a guidance counselor, maybe a pastor or something along them lines, because I can empathize with people well. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, man, because I feel like ultimate goal, you know what I mean? I know we preached on this a lot about, you know what I mean, it's divine for you to be an entrepreneur. But I'm like, not even more. Ultimate goal is you want to live through your God-given talent.
Absolutely.
You want to live through your God-given talent, and that has nothing to do with money, although I know everyone is money hungry. You know what? Curtis Baker, we interviewed him like maybe week 2, maybe. You know what I mean? Fresh starter. And you know what he told me? He was telling me that you want to find the gold in what you do naturally.
Yeah.
That's good.
You want to find the gold in what and he said this off camera, and I wish I was I went through the footage to try to figure out if he said it on camera. That was all off camera conversation. He said you want to find gold in what you do naturally so that it's not a chore to you.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? And when you find gold in what you do naturally, money eventually comes from what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all off of instinct. You know what I'm saying? You're taking care of people because I genuinely get a good feeling from taking care of people. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to me solving these math problems, I get it. I love putting together puzzles. This is what I love. This is what I'm good at doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do, man. Like, but I want to give the advice to the people is once you figure out what your talent is, invest in your talent. That's another thing that's what people stop at. They feel like they don't need to invest in it. If you're a cook and you're a natural cook and you just got a thing for spices, why would you want to learn more about cooking?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes for the musician. That's not, why wouldn't you want to learn more about music? Because that's what you are naturally good at, you know, sharpen your tool shed. And, you know, I mean, you can go down the list with, you know, a graphic designer, you know what I'm saying, who learned in the streets of Photoshop. You know what I'm saying? That why wouldn't you want to go to school and try to, you know, spend some time and take a class? And it's not to say that you need a college degree. I'm just saying that invest in what you know, what you
invest in your craft, yeah.
You reminded me a lot of what we talked about an accountability check, you know, and I think that especially us as being parents, but just as a person who's seeking their purpose in life, you know, you got to stick with things in order to see the fruition of it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I feel as though people have dreams and stuff that they want to do, but they never reach the fulfillment of those dreams because they give up too fast. Or they give up too early. You know, I was thinking about the times where I used to play Little League baseball and I sucked, right? Not because, you know, like I'm not athletic or anything, but I just didn't put enough time into it. And, you know, when I was ready to quit for it, I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but I don't believe that it was a lot of struggle for me to get out of, you know, Little League baseball.
Yeah.
And I think that me having such an easy route to get out of it, you know, I ain't trying, my mama might be watching, I ain't trying to blame her.
Watch them out.
You know, I ain't trying to blame her. But, you know, I think that, you know, you got to be careful to not let, you know, people quit on themselves too early, because it might be the fruition of more talent, right?
Yeah.
At certain times, you know, the Bible tells us that parable about the person with the talents, and they got 5 talents, 3 talents, and 1 talent, right? And you know, many of us would like to think that we got 5 talents or more, but you know, some of us only got 1 thing that we got going on, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay, because what you'll also learn inside of that parable that if you take that talent and you put it into something else, it'll create more talents.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So when you get out, when you don't allow the seed or the talent to necessarily grow, I think that you hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? You hurt yourself more. And you know what you also made me think about too? I ain't trying to take too much time on this thing. I ain't trying to hijack episode 20, chapter 23.
Hey,
you know,
go ahead.
But it also made me think about when people with talent is that maybe you have a talent for playing basketball, but dunking is not an issue for you. we talked about earlier chapters, we were talking that talk. In earlier chapters, we talked about deliberate practice.
Yeah.
Right? And if I'm a basketball player and dunking is not an issue for me, it makes no sense for me to go to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning just to say I went 4 o'clock in the morning and just practice different dunks. Because that's not a problem for me, right? I know that in order for me to be a more well-rounded basketball player, I need to practice different skill sets, right? In order, so with that practice, back to what Mars was saying, that'll improve that talent, right? Into different things. Y'all know I'm a geek. I play Dark Souls. You only start off with one weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many weapons you got now?
Yo, come on. I got so many weapons. I gotta put it inside of the inventory when I sit at the bonfire. That's real geeky. What is this? What is that? What is this? A Twitch stream?
Yeah.
This is real geeky. But the truth of the matter is, and that's how it goes. God.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's how it goes. Yep. That's how it goes. When you work with what you are given, you will get so much. You got to store stuff away because you're like, I can't even use that stuff now. Yeah. Because my talent is developing so much. But you got to stick with what you got.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to stick with what you got. You got to hone in. And I think that Candace has the perfect topic for this. You got to hone in and take a self-evaluation and value where are you with your talents and goals.
Yeah.
Right? If you know that you like to write poetry, for some of you out there, you know that you like to write poetry, you got to do what poetry writers do. And you got to actually write. Right? Daily. Even when it's not going well, you got to keep getting in there and keep writing. Candace, can you expound more on finding the value in yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I think with finding the value in yourself, I think this is something that's definitely a lifelong evaluation. Like what pertains to you as a 20-year-old may not pertain to you as a 34-year-old. But when you find that value in yourself, saying that I am worth it, I can do this. I may have some struggles, or if you're a teen mom or teen dad, you wound up had a child young, so your focus is off of what your goals are, but you still value yourself and know that I am going to make it to the brighter side of things. I am not going to make these choices that go against my core values, whatever your core values are, whether if it's God first, then your child or your husband and wife. Those are your core values where you know that this is the line that I'm not going to cross with myself. And I think there's so many times we put ourselves in situations where those core values are being tested. Which you need them to be tested, but some of those situations, if you indeed value yourself enough, you wouldn't be in those situations. So it's just a self-evaluation of what am I not going to compromise with myself? Whether if it's how you grew up or just the woman or man that you want to be, you constantly have to remind yourself of what that is and what that looks like, and you have to put in the work. Just saying, I value myself, I respect myself, I'm not going to sleep around, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, sure, words are nice, but it's you putting yourself to the test. And it goes in line with everything that we talk about. Once you find that value in yourself, then you'll have that consistency, and it starts with you. It starts with the things that you tell yourself in your head, about the things that you want to do and seeing those things out. So I think as a young woman growing up, or even a young man, you think of whatever your vision is of yourself, you come to realize that some of this vision is BS. And you're picking up things from other people, and some of the things that your mom may have even taught you isn't your core value because you're your own person. So it's just reflecting, looking back and on the things that you may have gone through, and figuring out, if I did this, if I carried myself in this way, if I respected myself in this way, would I have had to go through that? So with the valuing yourself, it can save you from heartache. It can save you from trouble.
Yeah, no, that's the truth of the matter, because one of the things that you gotta understand when you talking about value and placing value on things is that it's so important to understand your own value, because other people not gonna understand it.
Right.
That part. Right. Just recently, I'm gonna say that again. Right. It's important for you to place value on yourself, because other people aren't going to understand it. Just recently, my son, he likes to play with Pokemon cards. Now this joker, he can hardly read the names of the cards, who the Pokemon is or what it is, but he just know that he likes the different Pokemon. Now I told him, I said, listen, big dog, this Pikachu card that you got right here could be worth $50, $100, right? These are some premium cards. And then the other day, he took them cards out. You look at those cards now, they got creases in them. You know, some got milk stains and some spaghetti stains and things like that. And you can hardly see the name. But the point of the matter is that just because you know the value of something doesn't mean that other people are necessarily going to appreciate that value.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, you know, the songwriter says, I'm not sure what he's how he say it, but just set the price on niggas and live your life, my nigga. Who said that? Right?
You just help yourself by using that type.
I know, but who said it? He said it so good. Was that Jay-Z? Of course it was. I think it was Hov, of course, right?
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Right? Just set the price on niggas and live your life, my nigga. Only you are going to be, and back to even what Mars was saying earlier, as far as being destined for entrepreneurship, you know what your value is. And in order to obtain that value, you have to uphold that value and stick to it. Because especially when you work for like another job or another corporation, they're not going to pay you what you're worth.
Right.
They're not. You know what I'm saying? And ideally, you would want to get into a position where you setting your own price. Where you like, yo, I believe this costs this. Go ahead, Candace, you got something?
I just think like everything I'm just saying is absolutely true. Like, I think so many times we don't know, like, especially when you're going through the mix, you're going through your emotions, or you're dealing with what life has given you. We don't think about, am I worth this to go through this? So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm worth way too much to sit outside and argue with my neighbor. You know what I mean? But you're caught up in your emotions, and you're caught up in whatever else is going on, your own crap, and then you get involved with somebody else. And, you know, you're devaluing yourself when you step down off that pedestal. I'm not saying you got to look down on others or say I'm better than anyone else. What I'm saying is that you're worth it. Like, you're worth it. You're worth those, you know, taking those additional classes, although you may not think that you can't afford it. You're worth, if you want to go out and you want to enjoy your time in a reasonable manner, but you're worth it. You're worth saying yes to things that you really want to do, because you got just one life to live. And I think the sooner the better you realize your worth in this whole grand scheme of life, you will realize that nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. The little things that you stress yourself out about, that I stress out myself about, I'm talking to myself at this moment, it doesn't matter, because my life quality will not be affected on these little things. What I feel as though what I'm worth are not going to be tainted from little things. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, because you just reminded me of something by saying, paying the money to take them little classes. You know what I mean? Even if you think you can't afford it, man. I'm seeing a lot of different Miami trips.
Okay.
You know, and I'm gonna lowball these numbers real quick. A Miami trip, you talking about spending like $700.
At least $700.
At least $700, and guess what? Your local community college has a class in something that you are passionate in.
Come on.
Did you tell him I'm going to Miami?
No, I didn't. Now you feeling guilty. Now you guilt this talking. Now guilt this talking.
I wasn't even talking to you, but I'm just saying, like, I just think it's crazy. And yeah, you want to have a good time, you know what I'm saying? But we're talking about getting to the level where you're living through, you're valuing yourself because you're investing.
Yeah.
You know, you're investing in yourself by investing into your passion. And we're gonna take a real quick break, right quick. And I want to share this lovely.
Not too many lovelies.
Hey ladies, for the perfect lip gloss to make those champagne sippers, soup coolers, cool guy kisser, bubblegum poppers stand out, well, look no further than the elegant products at XO Pascal. Try the Page with its light orange dreamsicle tone and gold glitter accent that make it the perfect lip gloss for those who love the nude shade. Or try Snob with its pretty light powdered pink finish made for the snobbiest XO babe. All products are handmade, vegan, and cruelty-free. Order yours today at xopascal.com. That's XOPAIXAO.com. XO Pascal. That's Portuguese for passion. Enjoy.
Man, that joint's so fire.
And it's even better on your lips. Let me tell you, it's even better.
What you got right there? Hold it up to the camera. What you got?
This is Risque, and it's a nude, beautiful color. I don't have anything else on but this and some mascara. And that's all you really need. You don't need too much, too little to be cute.
For the snobbiest XO babe.
For the snobbiest.
This by no means be hitting on your wife, but your lip gloss popping. Your lip gloss.
My lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss is popping.
You know, I guess in this pursuit of looking to explore your talents and understanding your worth, you do understand that you're gonna have to quit some things.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to quit some things. You're gonna have to shed some weight if you want to be ready for that fight. Where to go up Mars over there drinking out the gallon jug.
You already know.
if you're gonna want to win this fight, you're gonna have to shed some pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that typically most of the time what keeps us from exploring into the talents or even finding our own self-worth, right, is that we're not ready to give stuff up.
Nope.
We're not ready to quit certain things, right? You know that you would get that workout done, but you keep going to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning because you're trying to catch up on King of the Hill. That's just me. Or is that just me, right? You know that you wanna invest, and then you can pick an app, invest in one of those different apps, but you know you want the shoes more, or you want the Miami trip more, right? I think that in order for us to progress in life, we gotta know when to quit things. And this is all spurred, and not because we keeping up with, we watch it, we the counterculture, right? We're not anti-culture, we counterculture, right? But I was watching over last week, the Joe Button, Our Name Is Podcast Later, they done broke up.
Yeah.
And it made me think about, when was the appropriate time to quit things. And I think that, most of us will morally say, oh, you want to plan things out. You want to kind of just, give a 2-week notice. But I think that most of the world will say abruptly and suddenly.
Yeah.
When we're ready to end things, we're going to end it abruptly and suddenly. Right? And, what are the signs? We mainly got relationships, friendships, and jobs are pretty much every relationship that we got in life. And I wanted to go over with you guys, what are the signs that a person should quit what they're doing? When they should end things. And the first point that I had is that when the toxicity level overwhelms the positivity level.
Hello.
Right? When it's just too much. I'm give my own personal example for this. Me and Guap Mars, we used to work in these van tags, right? And we had this superior. We had the superior that I worked with, and I don't know. The way that he used to treat me, I didn't feel like he didn't like me. Maybe I felt like he just kind of liked, he did like me. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just kind of on my jock. He just wanted to know everything that I was doing. And, mind you, when I first got there, I was in like possibly one of the best shapes of my life when I was there. But son kept coming up to me talking like, oh, Park, when you gotta work out. Park, you gotta work out. And mind you, as he's talking to me, he's bigger than me. Right? He's bigger than me, but he wanna keep talking to me about working out. And I'm like, well, sir, what workouts are you doing? You know what I mean? Right? And he's saying, what's going on?
Right. Just go ahead.
So he's talking to me. He asking me like, "What workouts are you doing?" And I'm telling them what I'm doing and everything. And it got to the point where I believe like every Friday or maybe every other day out of the week, we would get like different donuts, or maybe we would get pizza, or maybe maybe we would order food from somewhere. And every time I put my order in to say something, here come him, right behind me, suddenly talking about, oh, what type of donut you gonna get? How many slices of pizza did you have? Like,
but wouldn't that be inspiration?
No, it wasn't, because it already put in my mind that I was like, I'm already trying to take it easy because I am trying to maintain my weight, But it wasn't like, what made it even worse is that if he wasn't somebody who was like some type of PT stud, right? Like we had a gunny that was there too. Remember the bald head white guy, right? Mm-hmm. We had him that he was there too, and he was like a stud, and he wouldn't say nothing to me. We had the coolest of cool. But every time this superior came through, I'm trying to tell you, like, he monitored everything that I put into my mouth. No homo, right? Of course.
What?
Right? But no, seriously, that's when I knew when the opportunity came to leave that shop, I jumped right on it because I was like, I gotta get out of here because all he doing is trying to use me as his like whipping boy for real.
Mind you, B Horace had one of the highest PFT, CFT in the shop.
Fact!
So,
I forgot that. Fact!
Yeah. So then it's like this. All right, like it's one thing if he was just a fat slob.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if he was overweight, he out here doing better than everybody else.
Listen, as a matter of fact, while we was even in those vans, that's when we started the pull-up crew.
We started the pull-up crew. Yeah, straight up. Mm-hmm.
That's when we started the pull-up crew because I'm knocking them down.
Well, who was the president?
I was the president of the pull-up crew. I was the president because I'm knocking them out. I'm knocking the joints out, and I'm like, to even have the audacity to come up to me, you know what I mean, and try to really belittle me.
Yeah, because that's what it was about. Yeah,
because he seen me out here shining. I'm good at my job. You know what I mean? I'm A1 about everything that I'm doing. Right? I got everything down pat. And the only thing that you can get me on is my weight that I always make. Yeah. Right? But it's like I gotta point out something about you. I gotta point out a weakness in you. And this is the weakness, so that's what I'm gonna exploit you. It's not just him, right? But honestly, that was one of the reasons why I even got out, because it always became a problem. Yeah. It always became a problem. Even when I think the max for my height was like 175 or something like that, right? Even when I was at 174, it was always every command that I went to, it was always like, oh, well, how much do you weigh? Oh, this looks good. You this 10, this 10, that, and this that. Yeah, this award, that's award. Oh, where you weigh at? Right? How much do you weigh? And I'm like, all right, well, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, well, and that's when I knew that it was a toxic environment, because they would never want to see me exceed. They wouldn't want to see me exceed.
You know that same individual you speaking on, when you left, I had every collateral duty. So I had every job outside of the job, to include running the PT, which I didn't mind. I never complained about any of it, right? There was a time where he and this is real quick. There was a time where two of the collateral duties had a meeting at the same time. Same day. Yeah. Make it to one of the meetings. Yeah. I communicated that. You know what this dude said? After I came back from the meeting and missed the other meeting, he was like this, you know, I really think you're having trouble managing your schedule. He said, you know what? I'm going to recommend you go get seen at behavioral health, because I think you have. And I lied to you not, man. I was like this. Be serious.
Yeah. I do have ADHD.
Because I was like this. Yo, how you gonna bring that up? You must have known it. Look, I'm gonna let you continue, but I just wanted to tell you that. Nah. That rubbed me wrong too, like this. You must have looked me up for you to try to hit home. For you to try to hit home like that. What's going on?
You better believe it, because guess what? Here's one of the times where you know that you should leave. Right now, we're gonna get to you about what. Here's one time that you know when you should leave, right? When the people who are work friends or associates and stuff like that, where they creating this unknown competition with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What you competing with me for?
On
You
the
know
team.
what I'm saying?
On the team.
You on the team, but you competing with me, and we on the same team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, there's nothing wrong with friendly competition, right? But I would say what's his difference? A friendly competition, me and you know what the competition is. Me and you know what the stakes are.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm talking about those, those this is a family show. Those mother suckers.
Yep.
Right? I'm talking about those mother suckers who they competing with you, but they don't let you know that they competing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just like, oh, well, I'm gonna do better than you, or you busy. I'm working out. We working out as a shop and everything like that. But you working out in a long garage by yourself. Like, I'm gonna beat them on the PSP, or I'm gonna beat them on. You got this whole grudge. You got my whole face up on a dartboard throwing freaking bullseyes at my nose and stuff. You know what I mean? You punching the air every time I leave the room and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? Get a grip. You could have been a king. I could have made you a king, but you wanted to be a soldier. Woo!
Whole time.
Instead of trying to compete with me, I could have taught you something. But you made things a competition.
Yeah.
And guess what? When you compete with me, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
You don't know the extent that I will go to. You don't know the manpower, man hours that I will put in. Once I find out that it's a competition, you're losing.
Yep.
It was all friendly.
Not the manpower.
What he said? It's all friendly at first, but the rules all changed. I've been flipped out and spit out and booed off stage.
Yep. But I kept rhyming.
I kept rhyming. I was playing in the beginning. This was nothing to me. But now that I know it's a competition, now I can't stop this relentless pursuit that I can't stop until you are utterly and unrecognizably defeated.
Yeah.
Game on.
Yeah.
Game on.
But I wanted to just jump in. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, because they go for them who trying to start a podcast after us. They're trying to come to the number 5 spot and trying to come to the number 5 spot when we number 6.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out. Game on.
But we number 5 now that Joe Budden and his podcast.
Come on.
I don't wish bad on nobody, but
hey, you know what I'm saying? They had a run.
Number 5.
No, but I definitely wanted to go in, like, because as the great Chris Brown has said, it's never a right time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
It's never going to be convenient. It's never going to be. It may be like you want to leave, or you want to quit this job, and you just want to exit this friendship. It's always going to be something. Somebody's birthday coming up, or maybe they don't have a staff, or whatever. But it's important that you see those traits, because like you said, when somebody is in competition with you, and then all of a sudden, okay, now I see what your angle is, then you can move accordingly. And it doesn't necessarily mean that friendship or whatever that relationship is has to end, because I definitely see the positive in that. Now you're pushing yourself. Now you're working harder. Now you got a point to prove. But, on the toxic level of things, people are praying for your downfall.
Yeah.
People are waiting to point out, oh, they ain't make it this Monday. Oh, it's 8:00. Where they at?
Come on.
People that we don't even see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see the engagement. We see the comments. Thank you guys for commenting tonight. We got Byron Lewis, and then your sister is on here, Bonnie. So, thank you guys for commenting. But, it's the people who aren't going to comment. It's the people who aren't going to like or even share. And don't even tell you that they listen to the podcast. You know what I mean? But they clocking and they watching, and they were just waiting for the moment to say, oh, I knew this was a flop. oh, they ain't talking about nothing on here, oh, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's those people, you gotta time them if I possibly can, to know that, oh, but that's the devil, you know what I mean? Testing you, trying to test your will, trying to test who he can bring in on you, you know. And you gotta stay focused. And the ones that you see that show you, oh, you making this a competition rather than us bigging each other up, as us doing this together, us working hard for a better goal for all of us. You gotta let that person go, because it's dead weight. They're only going to keep sucking the life out of everything when it comes down to it. And you don't even know what the reason is. Like, I don't need to know why you got a problem with me, because I don't care. I'm still going to do what I have to do. I don't need that explanation. And people need to realize as long as you are cutting these people out of your life, and when it's time to say goodbye, you don't need to know the explanation. They don't really even know the explanation. That's a complimentary thing that you can do. But that's just my point. You got anything to say to it?
I don't. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Brandon. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, and let me ask. Yeah, go ahead. Take the question.
Okay, what's going on? Okay, here we go. So Byron asks, how do you address the issue when you're emotionally connected relationship? When is the time? How do you address that?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna answer some of it, and then I'm gonna let you guys answer some. I feel like, hold on, let me turn this thing up. There we go. I feel like I said, there isn't ever a perfect time. If you are expressing yourself in a manner that's effective, it's coming off, you're coming from a sincere place, and you only want the good for it to be ended. You can only control yourself. You can control the words that are coming out of your mouth. You can choose that time for yourself when it's time to go. But just be prepared that you can't control anybody else. You can't put words in anybody else's mouth. But when you've had enough, when you realize, when you sit down and you say, is this person an asset to me? Are they bringing my life value? It's not monetary. Are they bringing my life value? And how are they adding value to my life? And what are the pros and the cons? And what am I compromising? Back to knowing your value. What am I compromising being in this relationship? You shouldn't be compromising anything about yourself to be in that relationship.
I don't know. Maybe that be for another chat, because I do think
I'm talking about core values. Nothing.
Okay. I mean, I just think that when it comes to relationships, it's all about fulfillment. It's all about fulfillment. And you would be in a relationship with somebody else in order to because you want them to compliment you in some type of way. And I think that when you're in a relationship and you like, when should I quit this relationship? When should I move on? When you find fulfillment in somebody else, right? Like that. Listen, right? I'm not saying that. I guess I am saying that if you are looking to somebody else, whether that be a friend, or maybe a work friend or something like that, or OnlyFans page. Right? If you're looking for something else, or somebody to fill that physical, emotional, void that you might be having with somebody that you're close to, and maybe let's say that you found that somebody else and they are feeling that, and it might be time. I don't know. It's something that I struggle with this topic because, when is the time that you leave, and when do you like work harder, right? When do you try harder at something? I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and I let y'all talk for too long. You know what I'm saying? let your boy Guatemala, the love expert, the love guru. You know what I'm saying? Call me Mike Myers because I'm the love guru. You know what I'm saying? Let me speak on this, okay? When your time to call it an end to a relationship is when the communication stops. Because there's no more advance after, hear me out. There's no more advance after communication is disrupted. After you disrupt the communication, if you can't speak to them about your problems or you can't come to them about issues, couldn't try to connect with them, after that's over, that's when you should call a relationship end. Because after that, it's going to just be toxic. Because then it's going to be just this person's keeping this from this person and that person's keeping that from that person. And what's up?
All those different. But what about all those different relationships where the communication is start off already on on a bad note? You know what I'm saying? It was already there.
Yeah, if it's on a bad note and you accepted it, thinking that you're going to change that person to become better at communicating. Okay,
but you was wrong.
And you can go ahead and get proven wrong. But go ahead.
Okay, all right.
So Barbara said, "How you get on this Zoom?"
I asked him to come on before. I'm about to send him a link right now because I do want him to come on. I asked him to come on before.
Come on, send it to him.
I feel like
I'm about to send it to you. Hold on.
I feel like communicate. Things can be rebuildable. Everything that you feel like has destroyed your relationship, if both people are willing to do the work to repair, to rebuild that trust, to learn how to communicate, like nothing is going to be perfect. But if both people are ready to meet in the middle at a common ground and common ground. I'm sorry, Graham, stop.
As long as you come to a common ground, you guys can definitely rebuild. I think even if you're in a long relationship, like 10 years or even 5, 8, 10, whatever, you change throughout that time. So you have to constantly check in with that person and say, hey, these are my needs now versus before. And then that you got to talk to your partner or talk to whoever you're in that relationship that you care about and see if they're willing to put in the work for you. Because some people might say that you're asking for too much. I can't do any more than what I'm giving you. But you have to constantly check in with that person and say, I used to like this, or I used to didn't like this, but now I'm starting to feel like I need this. And this is the language, my love language. And this is how I want to be treated. You know what I mean? You have to tell people, you have to show people how you want to be treated. And if they're not stepping up to the plate for it, you have to finally take your exit. And it's okay. It's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to say I'm done. But you have to be the one who decided for yourself.
You can't be that one that like never say goodbye.
Hey, look, I need Lewis to go ahead and chime in right now. I sent you the link. I need you to come through with the come through.
You don't even have Zoom downloaded.
And say,
You're like, oh wait.
first of all, I need you to put some respect in his name. That's a businessman right there.
Okay.
I'm talking about restaurants and all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
in no Zoom account.
Yeah. All right. Hey, look, you gonna get on here.
Yeah, he laughing.
You laughing? Oh.
He knows the truth.
Yeah, but no, you know what? It's really all good. Like, you know, I think that you're right. It's you know, maybe at some point in time, a relationship is you know, you gotta fight for it, right? Or maybe you gotta be willing to make those different changes to adapt to the relationship, right? Because the same way y'all was messing with each other as high school sweethearts, might not be the same, you know what I'm saying, once the millions are made and everything like that. So
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I was going to say, like, and it doesn't even have to be as far as it's your spouse or the person that you're in a serious relationship with. It could be your parent. It could be your best friend. You change. Like, take the instance for a mother and a child or a father and a child. All your life, they just know that they are there to protect you. They're there to, you know, get the things that you want to do and show you the way. So when you become an adult, you're like, okay, now I need you to fall back a little bit and like let me do some of these things for myself. Your parent should reevaluate and say, okay, now I'm dealing with a young man or a young woman, you know. So I just think that no matter what the relationship is or what that person holds that title for, you should definitely have that space to reevaluate and decide, is this good or is this working for me, or if it isn't.
Byron, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you here? What's up? Are you here? What's up? I want you to come on. Come on, man.
What Brady say? He ain't got no Zoom account.
You got no Zoom. You gonna get the Zoom account.
Now, since you said it, next week we're gonna have Byron Lewis on.
That sounds good.
Monday at 8. It's already written. You said you wanted to get on. You're on. Next week, Monday at 8. I will be sending a reminder. We will be sending a reminder. We're going to wrap it up right now for this episode, chapter 23. This was a good one. And we're going to talk with Byron Lewis next week, Monday at 8. This is the Enchiridion Team. If you want a good, nice shirt, hat, merch, book an appointment with us, www.theenchiridionteam.com. That's www.theenchiridionteam.com. Everybody remember, life, knowledge, everything is in the palm of your hand. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah.